Hello, everybody, and welcome to Fairway Media Disc Golf. This is the Great Northwest Point Series. You're looking at the Mountain View Championship 2, presented by Emerald City Discs. This is a B tier happening out at South Fork Landing. We're doing an alternate layout to the course. Here on the card today, we got Caleb Joyner, myself, Kirby Snyder, Blake Burkey, and Peter Fornia. Welcome. Thank you all so much for joining me. Ollie, how you doing, man?
Doing well. Excited for some disc golf. Excited to see what we got here. Hole 1, par 3, 240 feet, playing on the original 10s, near the original 10s tee pad. Big bending right. You're going to see a lot of backhand turnover, high putter shots, or a nice large stalling forehand. Here we got you with a nice backhand approach with the putter. Coming in. Looks like it's going to be nestled nicely into that tree. Not too sure, but looked like a good shot, Curb.
Thanks. Yeah, that was a soft logic that's pretty beat up, so it's pretty unstable at this point. I like kind of being able to swing that wide and let it drift over. Caleb's throwing, I believe this is that pitch. It's one of those like citrus stamped pitches. Just a little too much angle. Get a little cut on that, giving himself longer putt than I'm sure he'd like.
We got Peter here taking it wide with that putter. Having it come towards there, going to leave himself long with a putt back at the basket in the tree mound. Love seeing Peter on lead card. Love seeing Peter balling out. And Peter's mom, shout out Peter's mom.
Teresa.
Let's go, Teresa.
Blake Burkey. This guy's got a great forehand. He's going to be showing it off a lot today. I believe that was an FD3 he's throwing. Caleb with a really long look here.
Just gets caught up, but still going to leave him an easy putt for him. Getting his 3.
Yeah, Peter wants no business with that.
Ooh, Blake with the good bit on that, just a little to the right. Looked like he was at elevation with the basket, so just kind of getting a level putt with it.
And my disc got lodged in this tree here, so trying to find a good spot to balance was kind of challenging.
Let's go, Kurt. Good bird.
Yeah, I feel like I kind of had to just like punch it through. Nice cleanup for Blake.
Yeah, should see some cleanups here.
Caleb getting wide.
I love his swagger. Just the way he throws, the way he putts, just swagger.
Yeah, this is his all emerald fit, where his shorts are so close to matching the shirt.
Oh, turn me up, Banksy.
All right, hole 2 here. This is just basically going to be the original hole 2 to the layout, except there is an OB line on the right side that you do want to avoid. I'm going with a DD roller, and yeah, getting some really, really late turn to it and putting myself in a place where there's really not much decision to be made. You know, we're definitely just going to be laying up from there.
Caleb gets his roller down. This is looking sweet. Going to be cutting towards the tree, a little short, but all the way getting a lot of that distance down.
I think if he gets a little more cut on that, it doesn't get that jump, and I think he's punching it towards the basket. Peter's showing off a little bit of the arm that he's got there. That was a C-line DD3 that he was throwing, and I mean, that low line getting it all the way up to the tree up there is so far.
Yeah, truly. Yeah, got a nice cannon on him.
Blake Burkey, I believe that was a tactic that he's throwing up there. Just a little left. Really, really nice shot from Peter.
Do it anyways.
Doing himself a pretty easy decision to just kind of lay it up.
Makes a hard hole pretty routine. Or like not a hard hole, but just makes that hole routine.
Yeah. He has so much confidence in it too, to be able to kind of swing it towards the OB on that right side, where if that flips up a little too much and rides to the right, like, you're really in a lot of trouble.
And I don't think the video showed as much too on Peter's shot, the low ceiling that you do have to throw that shot on. So yeah, just truly a good shot.
Yeah, that's why rollers, I mean, the most common play at least. Caleb kind of trickled down and rolled a little bit to the back, but no, Caleb, I've said this so many times, that Caleb is If he's not the best putter in Washington State, he's top 5 putter in Washington State.
Got some cleanups here. The flamingo putt.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's gotten to the point where I'm just so much more comfortable doing that. I'm just I'm fully committed to it.
It's a Kirby and Crabtree thing.
Yeah.
I was playing with you round 1, and then I look over and saw Kyle do it round 2 or round 1.
Yeah.
Hole 3, par 3, 270. Basically playing as the original hole 3 with an added hazard bunker sitting there in the middle of the fairway. And Kirby just throwing a little high and getting chopped down by those branches there.
It actually got stuck up in the tree.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I think that's a nuke from Caleb. And yeah, going long there, that's a tough spot to be in because you do have a really awkward putt where you have to get your right side completely out and then kind of almost horseshoe putt it, or sometimes go with like a forehand putt. Peter kind of getting knocked down. That's kind of the more common result you see from hitting those trees, is kind of just getting pushed a little bit down and giving yourself a tough long look at it.
Yeah, super smooth forehand. Perfect distance dial in. Parked it.
Beautiful. Yeah, so I was stuck in the tree directly up there, and going to the splice. Just a little. I love the splice, man. I'd rather throw this for those short little approach shots because it's so dumpy. Absolutely love the splice. Long look for Peter.
Yeah, only
such a tough spot for Caleb to be in over here.
Yeah, some nose up forehand kind of action, trying to keep it on one line towards the basket. Definitely hard, easy to find yourself just going a little long on the forehand.
Yeah, and we didn't notice this until we all kind of got around there, but when he went behind that tree, he actually trickled down. So right there on the right, there's a fence, and at the bottom, there's an opening in the fence, and he went through the opening. So he didn't get stuck behind the tree. He actually got stuck behind the fence, and he has absolutely zero look and zero putt whatsoever. So he had to pitch over into the mouth here and then make that putt for bogey. So really, really unlucky, just really, really unfortunate. Unfortunate bogey to take early there. Hole 4 here. This is a new par 4. It is 561 feet from hole 4's tee pad going to hole 6's basket. You're going to go through the triple mando here, and Blake just being able to show off that forehand, throwing it so crisp and clean. I'm going for a DD roller here, and this did not come out where I wanted it to. Luckily, I did not miss the mando. I actually hit the mando tree and just kind of rested right in front of it. So I'm not pumped about my lie, but it could have been so much worse. Peter kind of playing the kind of more safe approach where you kind of just throw up to 4's basket and then pumping through.
I love these forehands.
Oh yeah, such a sweet skip that Caleb got. He got so much distance on that. So yeah, you can kind of see I gotta kind of wrap myself almost completely around the tree here.
Oh wow.
And yeah, I just completely punched the tree, and as it went over.
I feel like just even that stance was so hard, but that was close to being something cool.
Yeah, I was trying to get it down more vertical, so maybe I can get some roll and maybe get through the trees there. But I was pretty happy with that shot, and that's a beautiful shot from Peter, getting through that second tree line.
Just
very low. Yeah, very low limbs. There's not a lot of discs or a lot of anything that really comes through this area, so a lot of these trees are totally untouched.
Yeah, just showing off great golf right now. Let's see, forehand approach for these two players, Blake and Caleb. And Caleb getting a little more tucked in there. We'll have a little more of an opening being through that side of the tree area. Hard on. There's the opening on the back and the front side. You'll be right there for it. Get your 4.
Yeah, going back to that splice again. Love those little drop shots.
I feel like it's just so much more dependable than some usual putt and approach discs you use for forehand approaches. Yeah.
Especially for those low lines. really great run from Peter back there. Blake and Caleb kind of gave themselves kind of wooded putts, but Caleb cannon it no problem.
The tree shot.
Blake, yeah. Blake and I'll just be tapping in our pars.
And Peter. Moving on, we got hole 5, par 3, 336 feet. Teeing off right near original 7's tee pad, going to original 5's basket. So you're going to see a lot of stalling backhand shots, or a lot of like wide backhand shots that have a lot of like late turn to them, and then maybe some big forehands here on this card.
Yeah, I threw an MD1 just to kind of bend the corner there.
Wow. That was a great shot by Peter.
Incredible.
Ciao.
Yeah, Banks was saying he had a little bit of a power bank issue around this hole. So he said he missed a couple of our tee shots, but this is all the tee shots. Everybody threw it. Wow. Yeah, so good. Great putt from Caleb. As I said, incredible putter. One of the best.
Yeah, and if you can pick up on the video, the way this is flowing with the old layout, it's just so smooth with how we're playing this really fun new hole that we got to play this year.
Yeah, there's not a lot of walking in between each hole. You know, there's really not much of a trip, which I really like personally. Yeah, it flows. Everything doesn't seem like you're crammed and you're gonna throw into each other or anything like that either, which is nice. Yeah, I really appreciate Max Spears helping me design the layout here. Really great of him. This is hole 6. This is a par 3, 315 feet. Basket is just tucked behind that tree out there. This is a temporary basket that we brought out. Caleb going with the straight, more kind of flip-up shot.
Love the black holes.
Yeah, one of the black hole pros, that's right. Thank you, courtesy of Emerald City Discs, for bringing them out there for us. That was Blake. I believe he was going to a destroyer out there on that right side. I'm going to a PD, and I'm just going to hit it really hard on a lot of hyzer. That was much lower than what I wanted out of it, but just getting enough skip to hopefully not have to contend with the tree branches there. Peter taking the hyzer as well. He's got so much power. I'm not surprised at all. I think he's going with like a 9 speed and just absolutely pinning it. Great shot.
Good bid there from Blake, just getting knocked down. Center pole.
Yeah, it's starting to get breezy throughout the day. It's still relatively calm here, but throughout the round it got a little breezier.
Cash money. Great hit, Kirby.
Thanks.
Confident hit.
Yeah, I felt like I feel like I kind of needed it. Like, I know Caleb's making this putt, you know, and I just, it's too early to give up strokes, you know?
Yeah, the second you miss a putt and Caleb's next to putt, it's got to be like, that's a tough feeling. So got to feel good stepping up, hitting that, because, yeah, exactly what you said.
I think so many of these holes could potentially be a 2-stroke swing. Like, it's not totally unreasonable to take a bogey while the other person birdies a hole.
Yeah.
So to be within 2 is definitely a lot scarier situation than maintaining my 3-stroke lead there.
100%. Moving on, we got hole 7. We got the hazard hole with got to get up onto the elevated landing spot with the landing wood grass area, and there's an OB behind. Going to be a really touchy angle and a distance control shot.
Yeah, really short, but everything in between you and that elevated platform is all hazard, and then there's OB behind it. So the play would definitely be to juice it long and kind of trickle just past it on the backside. I really love using the extra soft tactic. It hits the ground up there and likes to check up so nicely. So no aces on this for the weekend. I was pretty surprised. I thought somebody would have rang this up because it is right there, right in front of you.
Yeah, I feel like it's hard to want to run the ace and then still feel like, oh, I can get a birdie on this hole, even though it
Yeah,
is like one of the easier pars to get with going out of bounds long.
yeah,
Oh no, stayed up, stayed up.
yeah. Yeah, everywhere on that elevated platform's good. So even if you're on the wood over there, you're still inbounds. And I just kind of hung out on the backside there pretty nicely. Where day before, I went with
Okay, stare down. Okay, that's to you at home.
love doing it at least once per video, right? Yeah. Beautiful shot from Peter. Caleb absolutely parked it as well. I think Caleb threw a zone. I think that's probably the most common disc type that we saw thrown on this hole all weekend was that zone type of disc.
Tennis balls from the catapult.
Hole 8 here, 300-foot par 3. It's from this little path here going to the regular hole 7's basket. Very, very straight shot. There's going to be an OB line on your left-hand side that you do not want to mess with. Caleb keeping it out on that right side. It is a little downhill. There's really not much elevation to be had on this course. I'm going with Cosmic Fury 2, just a logic, and that there's a slight headwind that I think kind of kept my disc turning to the right a little more than I wanted it to, but just fine. And yeah, we thought Peter was going to bring that up.
Yeah, that was a great shot. Leaving it wide, keeping it safe. I like that play, using that safe right side.
Yeah, I think that is the play for this hole, is to kind of let the disc fall like that 30 feet short, 20 feet short, and then kind of trickle down into the bowl down there, because you don't want to be coming in there too hot. Excellent putt for Caleb.
Oh, just right side chains falling out on that downhill.
Yeah, definitely feel like I had it, but yeah, just a little high right.
And Peter on a charge. Let's go. Ka-chow.
Oh yeah.
Blake getting one back too. Love to see that. We got hole 9, par 3, 348 feet, playing basically the same as the original hole 9. And Caleb getting into penetrating the green. You're just going to be wanting to throw like a hyzer shot with the disc that's going to get a little bit of skip at the end, a little flare skip at the end, jump up to that green. It's a little elevated once it gets there. Yeah, we saw it, and that's Caleb showed how it's done. Peter also getting right up in there, even going long. That's pretty sweet. Great shot by Peter.
Yeah, I think you really want to kind of hug there's a Mando tree up there on the left-hand side, and I think you want to kind of, like, not hug the tree, but hug the branches that are kind of hanging out. And if you can kind of wrap a disc right around those, seems to give yourself a really, really good look at it. Going back to that PD, I know I can just kind of throw this comfortably out there. Was a little higher than I intended, but it's going to work out all the same.
Yeah, that was an awesome fight through the trees at the end. It does open up right above that first limb of branches, but awesome job getting to the green.
Bit of a long putt here for Blake, but scratching a little metal.
Kirby lining up the birdie putt. Cash.
Got to keep up with Caleb, man. Just pressing.
Yeah. Really, really, really good play by Peter and Caleb, just keeping you honest and disciplined in your game, you know?
Yeah, it definitely feels like I said. I mean, it's not unreasonable for any of these holes to be a two-stroke swing. So even though I do have that two-stroke lead, I know how fast that that can be gone and how fast I can lose that. So
Your disc golf towel sucks, but it's not your fault. For too long, companies have been rebranding ball golf towels that are too long for your bag, drag on the ground, and pick up debris while on the course. But not anymore. This is our brand new Tactical Towel System 2.0, the first ever retractable towel system designed for disc golfers by disc golfers. With our multi-layer design, you receive your waffle knit outer layer and your microfiber inner layer that will handle any debris or moisture that you will experience on the course. And with our 27-inch retractable steel braid cable, you will be bending over less, which means less back pain, more disc golf, and more fun.
all right, hole 10 here is going to be the original hole 9 on the course. We did add a mando to the tree on the right there where you have to be mando left, kind of preventing people from throwing the wide hyzer. And that's kind of one of the scarier shots is you're trying to throw that flex. You might hit those limbs, and he just got knocked straight down. Luckily, he's just going to be over to the left and have a tough shot up.
Yeah, I really like the... Oh, yeah, what?
I'm going with a glacier there and just kind of trying to turn it over and just turn it over a little too much.
That's the kind of thought I'm thinking. Like, you want to take something either like straight to overstable and try to hug that mando and get it out. Ended up going right of that mando past it and getting it to fight back, but definitely brings that mando tree into play, which is scary, where I feel like there's some other ways. I really do like this mando. It makes you think a little more on this hole and not just have the bunker as the only real danger here, you know.
Yeah, it definitely adds an extra layer to the hole that it's already a tough hole, and it just makes the shot just a little tougher. It actually kind of changed the way I think I might throw the hole just regularly. I think I like the straight shot more now.
Oh, wow. I like that.
Yeah. So you notice how he didn't have his name didn't have like the little hazard sticker that came up there. He actually found a little sliver of inbounds like that wasn't in the hazard, just on the backside of the bunker. It's really, really, really cool. Yeah. Peter and I walked up. You see my disc next to Peter's there. Peter and I walked up. Our lives were really similar to each other, and I look at him. I go, "Hey, layup boys, am I right?" He goes, "Oh yeah, that's happening."
That's so funny. Love that. Sometimes you gotta just follow the pill. Yeah.
Yeah, when you're that far over to the right with the hazard behind it, there's just no reason to run. There's no reason to run that putt. So I'll happily take a par there.
Got hole 11 playing from original hole 11's tee pad, going all the way to hole 12's basket with that OB line on the left that we saw come and play on hole 2. There it is on our left there, and then a hazard bunker in the middle there. So we're going to see a lot of players just trying to get up this gap with something that fades lightly to the left.
Yeah, it doesn't really come into play, but there is a couple of mandos on the right-hand side, just kind of keeping people from throwing like over the water and spike hyzers kind of into one of the other tee pads. So kind of forcing people just through this gap and up through the middle of the field. But a couple of really, really nice tee shots. Those are all going to be right in the middle of the fairway out there.
Low, but gonna make it past that bunker.
He was really close. I think he like barely jumped just over the line's edge. So he is like almost throwing from the hazard, but he's not in the hazard.
Wide forehand coming close to that OB line, bringing it down there. That goes all the way to the tree line we see behind us in the background. Peter's just golfing.
Yeah, such a beautiful little flip up. I think that was like a proxy maybe. Really, really nice shot.
Yeah, I think it's that same putter he threw on hole 1, if I'm not wrong, but he's been throwing that disc awesome. I think a couple other shots I've seen.
See that anti-skip that Caleb gets out of that? That happens every time you throw a forehand into this guy. If you hit that hillside, instead of getting that left to right skip, you kind of get that anti-skip that punches you forward. It's kind of one of the weird little like nuances of this hole that I really like about it. That upshot, just a little extra layer.
Dang, from Blake, and
that was huge.
Awesome to hit.
Yeah, great putt.
huge putt to make. Low left, catch it in there. With Caleb missing that one, you got to feel like a little more breathing room, but still the pressure's on.
Yeah. Yeah, I stepped up to putt that too, and I had like a spider web or something in my eyes, and it just kept like dangling in front of my face as I went to putt, which is like, I mean, nothing really, but it is something that's kind of a little bit in your head of like, come on, like just don't be distracted, you know?
Just hit the putt.
Just go, you're close.
Nature moment.
Appreciation. That works. Hole 12 here, also called Ollie's Eagle Hole. 279-foot par 3. There is a mando tree down there that's going to keep you kind of left. That was very, very safe, but I do think that that's probably the most common play here. It's just to kind of throw like a little like hyzer that goes around. Peter just pushing a little too straight, missing the mando there.
So much spin on that to just hover like that on the ground.
Yeah, so floaty. Caleb going back to that Sexton Firebird.
We're just going to get out and pass that drop zone spot for the mando.
So layup from Blake. Yeah, this is the drop zone for Peter. It's pretty fair. I mean, there is a legitimate putt, but it is not an easy putt to make in any way. He's just kind of going wide right. See the CTP flag right there. Thanks once again. Shout out to Max Spears and Tweeds Cafe for contributing to the event. Brought out coffee, brought out CTPs. Huge shout out to them. Go check out Tweeds next time you're out playing South Fork.
And bang from Caleb, run it down. Yep.
Massive. He knew it right out of his hand too. He was having one of those days where every putt he threw, he would say in or bang. He had one of those. I love it. So fun to watch.
Good clutch putt from Peter. Cool, calm, and collected. Not to take more than a 4. And tapping in the par there. We got hole 13, par 3, 336 feet. The first of the water carry holes we're gonna see. And one of the newer holes of this layout. Really enjoyed this hole. Really fun shot, technical shot that I think I really enjoyed this, and I think a lot of people did. I feel like.
Yeah, this is one that Max Spears was like mostly his creation that we used for a prior event, and this hole is awesome. It's really scary. There is a pretty easy like layup zone to kind of chop this shot into 2 like less than 200-foot holes, but I'm taking an MD1 and I'm just throwing it pretty hard with a lot of turn, and I'm hoping to kind of bleed it out towards that safe area out on the right. Blake just so smooth, man. He's not even doesn't even look like he's putting a lot into it. That would have been, we didn't even realize how close that was when we saw it from the tee. That's crazy. That would have been awesome, huge had he rang that up.
I really do like the forehand play here if you got it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's safer if you can just go over Sable Heiser forehand here. Such a nice shot, so much safer, but it's a little too far for me just to kind of punch that out on Heiser.
Lining up the birdie putt. It does create a long putt from that zone there, but nothing too bad with Caleb missing there. Not losing a stroke to him, but
yeah, I'm okay with taking a par on this one. I think this one and hole 2 are the 2 that I was like the most okay with just taking pars on, because I know with this shot I want to bleed it out to the right, and if we bleed it out too much to the right, it's just extra safe, and we got to be okay with that.
Yeah,
there's plenty of other holes to attack and get really aggressive on. Couple of par cleanups.
Got to get you some teal shorts. The teal fig on.
That'd be kind of cool. Kind of down for it. Hole 14, 255 feet. This is the second water carry shot. Relatively straight shot. I think the forehand is a little more open. You can see there on the left side. But you can just throw like a right-hand backhand hyzer at it if you wanted to. Blake spiking it right next to the basket. That was awesome. I'm going back to that extra soft tactic. And I like this because I can just kind of throw it relatively hard, and I know if I hit any land on that other side, it's just going to stick. And that's what we want. We don't want too much skip and to go too far.
Caleb with the forehand here. Yeah, I like the forehand play a lot. I feel like if you got it, it plays to it.
You're going with a more straight shot approach to it. Kind of bleeding a little long. Caleb threw I think it was a Halo Wraith, and apparently he like hit the ground, and as it hit the ground, it like Anheuser skipped, and that's how he got that far. It like Anheuser skipped and like took off. It was crazy.
That's insane.
What a run from him though. A huge putt from Peter. Look at him with the little fist pump. He's feeling himself. Heck yeah, dude.
Have a day.
Go for it, bro. Yeah, have a day.
Routine birdie for Kirby.
Little more insurance for this final stretch of holes here.
Yeah, it's got to feel good going up 4 holes with 40.
Yeah, this is officially when I don't want to say that I felt safe or I felt like I had it in the bag, but this is where the high pressure situation started to become a little less high pressure for me. I think it became more about, hey, you just got to execute your shots and don't blow up anywhere kind of thing. So and this is definitely a hole where you could potentially blow up on.
100%. Raised elevated basket. We got hole 15, par 3, 315 feet. OB right basically plays as the original with the elevated pin. I'm going to see a lot of these players bring it out wide, like we saw Blake and Kirby. Blake just coming up short, and Kirby kind of got that shot dialed, dude. So good. That PD?
Yeah, that's that PD, that blue PD again. Yeah. It was getting a little breezy, and definitely wanted to make sure I used something overstable enough to get over there. Peter just cracked that tree so hard.
Caleb wide coming in, and shake of the head, or nod of the head. We think we like that.
He got around. He's in bounds. I think he's got a putt. I think that's a little short for what Blake was trying to do, but should be all right. Tough miss right there. And you can see Caleb in the back. I believe he's checking scores, kind of seeing, if I'm not taking this tournament down, what's second and third place looking like right now.
Peter hitting his putt and Blake lining up his par. Good hit.
I think he's putting with links. Pretty sure that's what it is. And I'm pretty sure Caleb is putting with P2Xs.
Yeah. And like a super stiff plastic.
Mm-hmm. It's one of the best shots I've ever thrown there.
Gotta love that.
Hole 16 here. It's just a regular hole 16 actually.
On a Tuesday, so there was cards that went out for league in the morning, then they took it down, and then there was cards that went out after, and they were like, we're just gonna wipe this hole from the scores and figure everything else out later, kind of deal. It was really fun.
Interesting.
Yeah, there was that fence there for so long, and they took it out mid-league day, so caused a little bit of a stir. And I did not like that out of my hand. I'm not trying to go through that right side there. I'm trying to go up the middle, but kind of just got a little lucky.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. You gotta love that.
like just able to jump over that little hill there with the bush. Honestly, I think even with the fence gone, it still isn't like the easiest hole. It did make the hole easier.
I didn't sign up.
Beautiful shot from Peter. Going a little long though into the water behind it. And that is the thing, is this hole still has danger with that water behind there. Caleb throwing that a little too much as well. I think he's also going to be in the water. I know he's going to be in the water. That was his red nuke. He's been throwing that all day. So
Blake with the long bid. Caleb just short on his par putt.
that's tough.
Peter able to get it. That'll bring Peter and Caleb at a tie, going 2 holes left. Kirby nailing the coffin. Feels good. Gets the birdie on 16. 7-stroke lead going into hole 17.
Yeah, it's pretty much. I mean, that's pretty much it. It'd take a lot for me to lose this one at this point.
Hole 17, par 3, 366 feet. We are teeing off from by the original 15's tee pad, but down in that lower left area. We've teed off here going the other direction at other tournaments. And it comes out to that big field going to 15's basket, and Kirby getting up on that hyzer. You're going to see a lot of these power hyzer throws and trying to get tucked into where that green is to get yourself a putt. Saw Kirby do there.
Yeah, really surprised not to see anybody throw a forehand roller here. Really sets up well for it. Peter's throwing a PD2, I believe, which I really like, because it's nice because you just throw it, and you can throw it at just a decent power, and it's so overstable, it's hooking itself into the trees rather than having to finesse it or be too straight with it. So, this is that red nuke that Caleb just threw into the water. And if you notice, his shorts are a lot wetter. So in between walking to the holes, he walked into the pond, got about waist deep into the pond, got his nuke out of the pond, and then got to the tee pad all in time to throw.
What a dog.
Yeah, he's like, I needed that nuke for this shot, so I'm not going to not get it.
And a huge putt on the knee in disbelief.
It hit
now that's the nail.
Oh yeah, for sure. It hit those tree limbs. It was actually it was going to be wide right, and then it Hit those tree limbs and it redirected it into the basket. I couldn't believe it when I putted it.
Gotta love that. Caleb with the birdie. Needed that disc. Got the disc. Got the birdie.
Yeah, so at this point, he's fighting for second place, and he saw Blake there. I believe Broderick is in at 15 as well right now, sitting at second place. So second place is on the line for Caleb and Peter. They can tie for second or, sit here in third. So a lot on the line on this last hole for these guys. This is hole 18. It is a par 4. 548 feet. It is normal 18, just kind of pushed back into the tree line back there. Big shout out to Max Spears and his crew for clearing that out for us and getting that tarp down. Really awesome of him. Peter, so much power. He's going to be throwing this so far.
Oh my gosh. Other side of the bowl. So good.
Yeah, that's one of the Nordic Phenom DD3s. Caleb
is flipped up and out, getting that distance.
Really smooth.
Left.
Putting it right at Banksy here. Thrasher. I didn't know he threw a Thrasher, actually. On the tee pad, they were asking me, they're like, Kirby, do you think you could take like a 13 here? I said, I do think at some point I could take a 13 here. I go, I'm just really hoping not to do it right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Should be pretty routine up and downs. Hopefully no 13s after that drive.
Nice
Blake
approach shot
got
from
us
Blake.
up and down.
Yeah, great playing with Blake. Really awesome all weekend. This is a drop that just love that little shot.
Make it routine. No 13s in sight.
Nah, just 3s. Peter kind of
okay.
leaving himself a little meat on the bone, you know? Caleb knew, yeah. I mean, he knew second place was right there. Nice job, Peter. Maybe Broderick was at 14 and Peter just got that. So I think that's what it was. I think Broderick was at 14 and Peter just took down solo second place. That's what that was.
Very huge.
Great for him. Yeah, I think that's his highest finish in any B tiers like so far in MPO. Might be his highest finish in MPO. I'm not totally sure.
Highest tournament rating. He first 1,000 rated event for my guy. I'm really proud of him. That smile on his face, should be happy. So awesome. He's been getting so much better. And another buddy of mine. Proud of you, Kirby.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. My guy with the big win.
Appreciate everybody. Yeah, thank you all for watching. Appreciate everybody who came out and participated in the tournament. Got Max Spears back there, just hanging out, checking out some golf. And once again, appreciate him and helping me with the layout.
Thanks, Banksy. Thanks, Kirby. It's been fun. Fairway Finder, Darkwing Disc, KO Disc Golf Show production or commentary on a Fairway Media production. Gotta love it. Aim high, shoot low.